Vucevic, because it tickled Stephen A.
Okay.
Yesterday because I couldn't get it out. But this ain't no damn English class anyway. We talking basketball, so sometimes I may mess up names, but I was working on it last night. Vucevic. I got it.
You
All
got
right, there
this.
we go.
Yeah. Some of those Eastern European
Way to
names
go,
are
big
tough.
boy.
I appreciate you putting an effort, and making it happen. Don't worry, Stephen A. still can't say my last name. He's still working on it. We're on like year 10 right now.
Rose.
All right, you're up. Yeah, you can say Rose. That's great. Max got it. Are you giving the Lakers a pass for last night, Perk?
Yeah, you got to give them a pass. Look, let's not overreact to these 4 losses, and let's not overreact to them losing to the best team in basketball, which is the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz is putting everybody over their lap right now and giving them a spanking, especially when they go into Salt Lake City. Let us all remember, yes, I know Anthony Davis is out, but they are missing Dennis Schroeder, who is a huge part of this team and the Lakers' success. The only guy besides LeBron James that is able to create for himself and create for others. Here's another thing. When you're the defending champs, being a former champ myself, every team is going to give you their best shot every single night. And right now, the Lakers they're not at full strength, and they got to be prepared to get everybody's best shot. And last night, going into that Utah game, I knew they were going to lose. I thought they probably would have beat by due to not having Dennis Schroeder and how great of a team the Utah Jazz are. But here's the thing. This right here proved me wrong because I gave Rob Pelinka so much credit and said that the Lakers won in the offseason, but this has been a blessing in disguise for everyone, including the Lakers, because right now we're seeing that their role players are really not like that. This is our audition for them, and it's time for them to upgrade even more. Go out there and add more shooting. Maybe could go get a guy like AJ Redick. And they miss JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. Much respect to Marc Gasol, but he's not it right now. Well, he can't guard pick and rolls. He's not a live threat at the rim. So you may have to go out and try to get a Hassan Whiteside or Andre Drummond. I knew going into that game last night that the Lakers were going to lose because they're shorthanded and Utah is a great team. So, yes, I am giving them a pass.
I'm not giving them a pass. And the reason why I'm not giving them a pass is because of what I saw from them defensively. Utah is a great team. They move the basketball exceptionally well. They're exceptionally well coached. I certainly can understand why the Lakers have problems offensively, but defensively, I'm going to look at them. They got blown out last night. And oh, by the way, in 9 of their last 10 games, they've given up at least 104 points. And they've been giving up triple digits on the regular over the last 9 to 10 games or so. So I'm looking at things from that perspective, and I think it's about effort. Certainly, offensively, you're going to have your struggles, and I totally understand it. And there are adjustments that Frank Vogel has to make until Rob Pelinka can get him some more help in the trade or whatever the case may be before the trading deadline expires specifically. We can deal with all of those things. But I'm just looking at things from an effort standpoint on the defensive side of the ball. I certainly don't expect them to look but so bad. I don't expect to witness wide open shots. I don't expect the interior to look like a layup line. I don't expect those kind of things. I expect more from the Lakers in that regard. And that's all I mean. It's nothing to be overly alarmed about. We understand the loss of Anthony Davis and Dennis Schroeder is significant. We get that. I definitely agree with you, Big Perk, that Pelinka and those boys got to go out because of the audition that these guys have been going through. A lot of them aren't measuring up to snuff. All of that's true. But Frank Vogel is a head coach in the National Basketball Association because of what he preaches and what he teaches on the defensive side of the ball. And I didn't see much of that last night, and that was my issue.
Of course, the Lakers get a pass for last night. Look, Perk said it. They're on the road against the hottest, if not best team in basketball right now. If you had to say at this moment, not who you think's going to win the chip, anything, at this moment, who's the best team? It's Utah. They have replaced the Lakers since the AD injury as the only elite team on both ends of the floor. They're absolutely elite on both ends of the floor. And when you look at this roster, everywhere you look, there's a dude who makes a real positive contribution. Mike Conley's like an ideal point guard. Donovan Mitchell is a star and a bona fide superstar when you need him most. And even the fact that Ingles isn't starting, he's off the bench. And you have Royce O'Neal. They're like mirror images of each other, both competent on both sides of the floor. But Ingles is versatile offensively and good defensively, whereas Royce O'Neal is versatile defensively and good enough offensively. But O'Neal's defense is ridiculous, and he can really shoot the three. You look at every position, there's someone who's really making a positive contribution. Obviously, Gobert, rolling to the basket, and the defense is there. Everywhere you look, they got a guy. So that's the Jazz right now. They're firing on all cylinders. Stephen A., you called out the coaching staff by name to give them their props, not just Quinn Snyder. I totally agree. They're a well-coached team being compared to the Spurs from several years ago, the way they move the ball, play unselfishly, the whole thing. And the Lakers, Perk hit it again. I brought it up at the top of the show. AD's gone. You're top heavy. You got two superstars. They make the role players better. One of those dudes is gone. But then also your third best player is gone. And Schroeder is the only guy other than LeBron. What I say earlier, he can not only get his own shot, but he can create for others. Really, I know Taylor Horton Tucker's trying to do his thing. He can get his own shot, but is he really the guy who's going to be creating for others? So the Lakers are right now dead in the water against a team that's setting records, hitting threes every night. What are they supposed to do?
Big Perk, I'll be the first to admit, man, I'm kind of spoiled in this regard. When I was a beat writer for the Philadelphia 76ers covering Allen Iverson and the crew, Allen Iverson was your lone offensive force. The George Lynch, the Eric Snows, the Aaron McKees, the Kevin Mutombos of the world, the people like that, they could give you buckets every now and then. But the bottom line is they were basically a defensive-minded team. You knew that there were limitations offensively. But what Larry Brown, the great Larry Brown, the Hall of Famer that is Larry Brown, taught me is that when you have effort on the defensive end of the floor, you'd be surprised what you can do. And you may not always win, but you're always going to be in it. And when I see the Lakers give up 39 points in the second quarter and I see them basically bow out that early, that's what I'm looking at here when I'm talking about effort. I'm not looking at things just schematically. I'm not looking at just talent. I'm looking at the fact that you know what the circumstances and the situation is walking in to that particular encounter and what you've been looking at since you knew Anthony Davis would be out over the last 10 games. And I'm watching you defensively wilt. And that's what I'm keeping my eyes on because I think a lot of that is about effort more so than anything else. And I'm not talking about LeBron James because he don't owe us that. He gives what he's got, okay, and he needs help. But you got to help him.
Yeah, and look, Stephen A., that's a great point. But I'm going to say this. Last night game, it was just that the Utah Jazz, that young group, Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson, Royce O'Neal, those guys are just more athletic. Legs like Kyle Kuzma, Caldwell Pope, Wesley Matthews. It's nothing that they could have done with those guys last night. And I get what you're saying. It was times where the Lakers had lapses on the defensive end. I kept wondering to myself, how many times are they going to keep giving up lobs to Rudy Gobert and Derek Favors at the basket? But that's just a testament to how good and how dangerous the Utah Jazz is. And look, you brought up a good point earlier in the show when I was watching. The Utah Jazz are shooting 42 threes a game, and they're hitting 40% of them. I mean, you got to honor the three because they are lighting it up. And with that, you have a dynamic guy in Donovan Mitchell who has took a tremendous leap from last year. I'm not talking about him being able to get buckets. We know he all could score the basket. I'm talking about now he has taken that next step to superstar. What the great KG used to always tell me, you know how you could superstars separate themselves is when they start making others around them better. And that's what he's doing right now.
Jordan
This Utah Jazz team is just serious.
Jordan Clarkson is six-man candidate of the year. Jordan Clarkson looks better than I've ever seen him look.
He's right. He's actually
Anything
excellent
is possible.
now. Not just
Shout
scoring for a bad
All right,
team.
let's
He's
go
an
to the
excellent
Celtics,
player.
guys.